My parents went to Italy with my siblings. Family only, Mom wrote. I wasn't invited, but my corporate card was. 6 first-class tickets, 2 suites, a $11,500 wine bill. I reversed every payment. At 6:03 a.m. my phone lit up, 27 missed calls. I woke up to the text at 5:17 a.m. Family only. That was all my mom wrote under a photo of them smiling at the Delta One lounge at JFK. I remember sitting up in bed like I'd just heard a gunshot. 6 people front and center holding champagne flutes. My mom, dad, both my sisters, my brother and his wife. And behind them the gate sign, Rome Aita Airways. Boarding now. I wasn't tagged. I wasn't mentioned. I wasn't invited. I stared at it for a full minute, just letting the words soak in. Then I checked the group chat with my mom and sisters. Silent. No messages. Not even a fake excuse. Nothing but a massive slap in the face. My stomach turned. Not because they left me out. That part I'd felt before. But this time they brought my card. The corporate one. The one I opened for my consulting business. The one I told them was only for emergencies, and only because the financial advisor said it would help streamline the trust we'd set up. I put both my parents on the account. They said it made them feel more in control. They liked the idea of having access in case something happened to me. I was too generous. Way too generous. By 5:24 a.m., I was looking at the charges. 6 round-trip first-class flights. 2 connecting suites at the Hassler, overlooking the Spanish Steps. That's the kind of place that sends champagne to your room just for breathing. Then the restaurant bookings hit. La Pergola, Broscioli. A tasting menu in Florence. An Amalfi Coast wine and yacht package. Car rentals, private drivers, shopping in Milan. And then the wine bill. That was the final insult. $11,537.48. In one night. Who spends 11 grand on wine on a Tuesday? They did. On my dime. With my card. While I was still in my hoodie drinking stale coffee at my desk. Working overtime to help pay down my parents' mortgage from last year. I didn't cry. I didn't even get mad at first. I went cold. I started reading every single booking confirmation. Every dinner, every hotel, every spa day. They hadn't even tried to be subtle. Everything was in my name. My email was the primary contact for most of it. Like they thought I'd just let it slide. Like they thought I was too soft, too loyal, too grateful to ever fight back. That's what broke me. I called Amex first. Told them I needed a full review of the charges on the corporate card. Flagged everything as unauthorized. Then I started hitting the bookings. The airline was easy, they were still mid-flight, so I canceled their return tickets. I called and said the reservation had been compromised. I gave them a cancellation code so clean it probably looked like an inside job. Every driver. Every tour. Every dinner. Gone. I left the wine bill. On purpose. By the time they landed in Rome, they had no hotel, no itinerary, no ride, and no way back. And they had no idea why. The missed calls started at 6:03 a.m. First one from Mom. Then Ivy. Then my dad. Then my brother 10 times in a row. 27 total by 6:45. I didn't pick up. I didn't text back. I just watched the notifications pile up like a slow-moving avalanche. Then at 7:12 a.m. Ivy sent a voice message. She was whispering like someone had died. Said the hotel wouldn't let them check in. Said their bags were locked in the lobby. Said Mom was freaking out. Said Dad kept trying to use the card but it was declined. And then came the part that made me smile. We don't know what's happening but they're saying everything was reversed. The card's been shut off. No apology. No explanation. Just panic. I put my phone down and opened my laptop. This wasn't revenge. Not yet. This was just the beginning. I didn't respond that day. Not to the calls, not to the texts, not even to the email titled, Urgent, Family Stranded, that my brother sent from his work address like this was some kind of hostage situation. I just watched everything fall apart from 1,000 miles away. By that night Ivy cracked first. She sent me a voice memo around 10:48 p.m. Her voice was thin and erratic. Said they were stuck in the street with no hotel, no transportation, and all of their bags locked behind a front desk that wouldn't even buzz them in. She said the staff treated them like criminals, that a man in a suit had escorted them out and told them the reservation no longer exists. They hadn't even gotten out of Rome yet. Their car service was gone. The prepaid city passes? Walked. The luxury dining itinerary I found in Mom's email? Cancelled and refunded. I took my time with that one. Even reached out to the tour guide they were supposed to meet the next day in Tuscany and offered to double his fee if he confirmed their names had been removed from the guest list. He was thrilled. Said they were very demanding clients anyway. By morning the tone changed completely. This time it was Mom. She sent a 5-paragraph message that tried to sound like an apology, but was really just a lecture wrapped in soft words. She said they didn't mean to exclude me, that they assumed I was too busy, too career-focused, too independent, to want a big family trip. She said I would have hated all the chaos anyway, and ended it with a line that made my jaw tighten. We just didn't think you'd mind sharing a little. A little. First-class tickets, luxury hotels, multi-thousand-dollar wine tastings. That was a little. I read it twice, then deleted it. By noon I'd taken it to the next level. I contacted ITA Airways again and reported a potential security breach linked to the flight reservations. Told them someone might have accessed the itinerary using internal information. That's when I found out they'd already tried to reschedule their return flights. No surprise there. Their vacation had turned into a logistical nightmare within 24 hours. Too bad I'd already voided the tickets. Then came the wine bill. I never canceled that one. I wanted them to feel it. I called the restaurant instead and asked for an itemized list of every bottle, every glass, every pairing they ordered. I had it emailed to all the cardholders on the corporate account. Myself and my dad. He got a 9-page PDF detailing a night of lavish drinking and caviar while his eldest daughter sat home answering client calls at midnight. I imagined him reading the price tag on a 1995 Sassicaia while trying to figure out if he could afford train fare to the next city. Later that day, I got a message from the Tuscany driver I'd originally booked for their vineyard tour. He was confused why the ride was cancelled. I told him the truth, that they were no-shows, that they weren't welcome anymore, that I'd pay him double if he'd do me one last favor. I emailed him a PDF. He printed it out and delivered it in a sealed envelope to the boutique hotel in Siena where my family thought they were heading next. Inside was their full itinerary. Flights, hotel confirmations, restaurant bookings. All of it stamped cancelled in red block letters. They received it just after getting rejected from a budget Airbnb 2 neighborhoods over. That night my brother tried calling again. Left a voicemail that said, "Okay, this is getting out of control. We need to fix this before it gets worse." Fix it. They still thought this was a temporary inconvenience. Like I'd get tired. Like I'd forgive. Like I was the same girl who paid for Ivy's summer classes and pretended not to notice when mom dipped into the trust to pay off her car loan. They hadn't realized yet, this wasn't about the money anymore. They'd taken the one thing I never thought they'd touch, my trust. And now they were going to crawl back home broke, angry, and desperate for someone to blame. And I'd be right here, watching, waiting, planning the next move. They lasted 5 days before the cracks started to show. Ivy's Instagram went quiet after posting a filtered selfie in front of the Coliseum. My brother's wife, always the strategist, put up a story that said, "Digital detox victory hand," like they were choosing silence. But the truth was obvious. They were unraveling and fast. I didn't reach out. I let the silence stretch. I wanted them to feel it. Day 6, my dad sent the first text. "Can we talk?" No greeting, no explanation. Just that. I left it on read. An hour later, mom followed up with a voice message. She tried to sound calm, but there was panic under the surface. Said the cards were malfunctioning, the airline wouldn't help them rebook, and their backup hotel had refused to extend their stay without a working card. She kept dancing around the obvious. They'd maxed out my trust, betrayed me, and expected me to play dumb and fund their collapse. She still couldn't say the word sorry. Still thought this could be fixed with a few lines of guilt tripping. She even said, "We didn't think you'd mind that much." That was the moment I realized she'd convinced herself this wasn't theft. That using my corporate card for a 5-figure vacation I wasn't even invited to was just a favor I didn't know I was doing. That night my brother left a voicemail. His tone was different. Accusatory. He called me cold. Said I was taking it too far. Said I was ruining what was left of this family, over a misunderstanding. I didn't reply. Instead I made one more call, this time to the card company's fraud team. I told them everything. That I suspected long-term misuse. That my name was on charges I hadn't authorized. That I had full documentation and receipts. They didn't hesitate. They froze the account, escalated the case, and told me a formal review would begin that week. At that point, everything collapsed for them. Flights locked. Hotel declined. Restaurant bookings blacklisted. Their backup credit cards started failing one by one. They were stranded in Italy with luggage they couldn't afford to drag home and no one to call, because I was the only one who could fix it. And I wasn't lifting a finger. 2 days later, I got an alert from Western Union. Someone had tried to wire money from Rome to New York using my dad's name and my card's billing address. It was flagged and rejected. They were desperate now. I finally answered Ivy's call on the 9th day. She was crying before I even said a word. She said everything had gone wrong. That they hadn't eaten properly in 3 days. That the Airbnb they found had bedbugs. That dad was talking about trying to sell one of their watches to buy a plane ticket. She said mom never told them I'd be left out. That she said it was her decision. That they assumed I knew about it and just didn't want to come. I asked her one question. What did mom mean by family only? There was a long pause. Then Ivy said it. Quiet, like she didn't want to hear it herself. She said mom told them it wasn't a trip for outsiders. That I wasn't part of the core family anymore. That I'd made my choice years ago when I left home and built a life they didn't understand. They didn't forget me. They erased me. And now they were broke, trapped, and humiliated in another country, trying to claw their way back into my good graces. Not because they loved me but because they needed me. I told Ivy to let them know the flight back had been cancelled permanently. That if they wanted to come home they could pay for it themselves. They could. She didn't argue. That night they booked the cheapest flights they could find. One layover in Zurich, another in Toronto. No first class. No champagne. No private drivers. Just silence. They landed 3 days later. No texts. No calls. But I was already planning the next part. They thought getting home was the end of the punishment. They had no idea I was just getting started. They landed in New York on a Sunday night. I knew because I had their itinerary rerouted to my inbox weeks ago, before I canceled the original return flights. I watched their replacement journey unfold in real time. 11 hours in economy, 1 missed connection, and a customs delay that kept them at JFK until 3 a.m. Nobody texted. Nobody called. It was the first time in my life my mom came back from a vacation without bragging about it. I waited 2 more days. Then I made my move. I filed a formal request to remove both of my parents from the joint trust account. Legally, I had the right. The trust had been created through my LLC, and they were listed as limited secondary holders for convenience. I'd added them because I thought it would make their lives easier. All it really did was give them a direct pipeline into mine. I revoked their access. Then I called the accountant and had the trust audited. Every single transaction for the past 18 months. I gave him permission to pull metadata, IP addresses, and login locations. The next day he called me back. Turns out the Italy trip wasn't the first time they'd used my resources. There had been smaller transactions. Random Amazon charges. Hotel reservations in Florida during a business conference my dad claimed to attend. A spa package charged to the trust in my brother's name last year, conveniently booked while I was out of the country. They'd been doing it behind my back for months. That night I confronted my mother. She didn't answer the phone. So I sent her an email, formal, legal, and cold. I listed the charges. I attached the audit summary. I told her that misuse of the trust would result in a claim of financial fraud and possible civil litigation. She wrote back 2 hours later. The subject line was one word, seriously. Inside she said I was acting like a stranger. That no matter how much money I made, I'd never be above the family. That threatening to sue my own parents was a new low even for me. She ended it with a line I didn't expect. You should remember who changed your diapers. I stared at that for a long time. Then I opened another folder, the one I'd been quietly building since the first day they left for Rome. Screenshots, statements, voice messages. I compiled it all and sent it to my attorney. I wasn't bluffing anymore. But here's where it got weird. 3 days later I got a letter. Not an email. A letter. In an envelope handwritten with no return address. Inside was a single-page note. It wasn't from my mom, or my dad, or any of my siblings. It was from my Uncle Marcus. I hadn't seen him in years. He was the only one from my mom's side I actually liked. Quiet, thoughtful, weirdly good at remembering birthdays. He wasn't in the group photo from the lounge. I didn't even know he still lived in the state. But the letter was clear. He said he heard what happened. That mom had bragged about the Italy trip at a family cookout weeks before they left. Said, Elodie's card makes it all possible, like it was some kind of inside joke. He said he kept quiet. But now, he thought I should know something else. Apparently, my parents had been talking about changing the trust. About using it to build something more permanent. A family property. Somewhere in the Catskills. A cabin or maybe a compound. They wanted to use my money to buy their retirement dream. A home where I wouldn't be welcome because I was too corporate now. I read that line 3 times. Too corporate now. I called my lawyer the next morning and instructed her to freeze all outgoing distributions from the trust immediately. Then I contacted the real estate agent my dad had quietly tried to work with. She confirmed everything. They'd already been browsing listings. The offer was supposed to be placed that week. They were going to use me to buy a house I'd never be invited to. I didn't call them. I didn't send a warning. I let them wake up to the legal notice delivered by courier the next morning. My phone stayed silent all day. But I knew the silence wouldn't last. Because this wasn't just about Rome anymore. It was about who they really were when they thought I wasn't looking. The courier delivered the freeze notice at 9:41 a.m. I know because I paid extra to track it down to the minute. It went to my parents' house, addressed to both of them with copies sent to my brother and sisters. By 10:02 a.m., my phone started ringing. I didn't answer. By 10:27 Ivy texted me. "What is this? Are you suing mom and dad?" At 11:13 my dad called me from a new number. I let it go to voicemail. He didn't even leave a message. Just hung up. By noon my mom cracked. She sent a voice memo, no hello, no pleasantries. She said she couldn't believe I'd go this far, that I was attacking the people who raised me, that I was sick with greed. Said the house was supposed to be for the whole family, even if I chose not to be part of it. That was the moment I finally responded. I told her I'd meet her face to face. 1 hour. Neutral ground. No tagalongs. She agreed immediately. We met at a little cafe in Westchester they used to take us to after Sunday church. She arrived with her sunglasses on and didn't take them off. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. I didn't bother ordering anything. I just laid out the file. Bank statements. Audit notes. Screenshot of the wine bill. The email from the real estate agent. The letter from Uncle Marcus. She didn't even glance at it. She just said, "You always wanted to make us look bad." I laughed. He didn't. She said I'd embarrassed the entire family. That Ivy and my brother had done nothing wrong, and I was punishing everyone for a minor mistake. She said they felt unsafe, knowing I could cancel their plans at any moment. That I held too much power. Like I was some kind of threat. Like I hadn't been the one paying off their medical bills, their loans, their nonsense lifestyle. I told her the trust was closed. She blinked. Temporarily. Well, permanently. I told her every dollar was being moved out of that account. That I was taking it all back. Legally, carefully, and with full documentation. The house in the Catskills. Dead. The Italy trip. Already reversed. The card. Disconnected. The fraud report. Pending. She said something then that I will never forget. "You're not punishing us, Elodie. You're punishing yourself." I stood up. Left the file on the table. Walked out. 3 hours later my dad tried. Sent a text saying he wanted to talk man to man. I replied, "I'm not your son." Then Ivy called. She asked if we could do a family meeting. Just to clear the air. They wanted it at my place. I said no. We met at a hotel conference room. Neutral territory again. I made them sign a visitor release form. No recording. No drama. The four of them showed up looking like they were headed into a courtroom. And maybe in a way they were. The meeting lasted 40 minutes. Mom tried to control the narrative at first, but I shut it down. I played recordings. Showed documents. Made them all sit with the facts they'd been ignoring. Every charge. Every lie. Every time they said family only and left me out of the room. My brother said he didn't realize it was your money. My sister said she thought mom had cleared it with you. Nobody said sorry. Not once. When it was done I stood up and gave them the new boundaries. No more money. No more accounts. No more cards. No more pretending we're something we're not. I told them I wasn't angry anymore. I was just done. Mom said, "So what, you're just going to walk away?" I said yes. She asked what she should tell the family. I told her to say whatever made her feel better. Then I walked out. And this time I didn't look back. The meeting ended on a Thursday. Nobody hugged. Nobody apologized. Nobody stayed behind to ask if I was okay. That was all I needed. By Friday morning I started blocking them, one by one across everything. I didn't announce it. I didn't warn anyone. I just did it like taking out the trash. Mom was first. Then Dad. Then Ivy. Then my brother and his wife. Then the cousins who were suddenly concerned, but had been liking every Italy photo just a week earlier. I cleared out old group chats. I deleted shared photo albums. I set my social media to private and changed my emergency contact to my attorney. I even pulled my family's names off the backup access list for my medical and financial accounts. They'd had quiet access to my life for too long. That part ended now. The trust account was officially closed by Monday. The last funds were pulled into a new LLC account under my name only. I had it locked with biometric ID, two-factor everything. Not because I thought they'd hack it, but because I'd learned something important. Trust, once broken, doesn't patch back up. It stays broken. The chargeback from the wine tasting cleared that same week. Amex refunded the full amount. I took that $11,500 and donated it to a local nonprofit that provides housing for women leaving financial abuse situations. It felt poetic. They used my money to drink. I used their mistake to help someone else escape. A week later, my mom tried to reach out through my old high school friend Emily. She texted me out of the blue. "Hey, your mom's been trying to get in touch. She says you're not responding. Everything okay?" I didn't reply. I just added Emily to the block list. 2 days later, someone left a voicemail from an unknown number. No name, just, "Hi Elodie. I just think this whole thing's gotten out of hand. Can we talk like a normal family? Call me back." It was my brother. I played it twice, then deleted it. After that, I got an email from a random Gmail account. No subject line. Inside was a single sentence. "We didn't mean to lose you." I stared at it for a full minute. It wasn't signed. No apology. No real acknowledgement. Just a vague, half-hearted sentence like I was a pair of sunglasses left in a cab. That's when it hit me. They didn't regret what they did. They regretted losing control of me. That was what this had been about the entire time. Not the vacation. Not the money. The control. The ability to use me, guilt me, bend me into whatever version of Elodie they needed. The one who paid the bills, fixed the messes, smiled through it. And now she was gone. There was no big blow-up. No lawsuit. No revenge montage. Just silence. Sharp, deliberate silence. And inside that silence, I started building something I never had with them. Peace. Boundaries. And a life they weren't allowed to borrow from anymore. It's been 7 months now. They haven't tried again. Maybe they finally believe me. Or maybe they've just moved on to someone else who can foot the bill. Either way, I don't care. I don't miss the fake closeness. I don't miss the obligation. I don't miss them. Sometimes people say things like blood is thicker than water. But they always forget the full version. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Family isn't who you're born to. It's who shows up, tells the truth, and doesn't expect payment for it. And I'm still waiting to meet mine.